Hello and welcome. Let's talk about square G-Shocks now. So this one here is the DW-5600E. This is the cheapest and most basic square G-Shock. It costs about 60 euros. This one here is the GW-M5610, which costs about 100 euros, and this has some extra and upgraded features. And interestingly, you would think that the more expensive one is better in every way, in every respect, but no. In some respects, the cheaper one is better. In many other respects, the more expensive one is better. Okay, so let's make a comparison here. The size is pretty much the same. Not exactly the same, because some dimensions of the 5600 are bigger, but just a little bit. These wire guards or bull bars are from jaysandkays, and these are of the same size. And these fit both watches. So the size is pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay. One difference is, for example, the case pack. The 5610 has a nicer case pack. And by the way, the 5610 comes on these same straps here, resin straps. But I was able to get this combi or combo, is it combi or combo? I think combi straps separately. And I like it a lot. This combi strap is very, very nice. I think it's called combi because it combines resin and metal. So these links here are metal, and this part is here is also metal, of course. And these texture links are resin. Yeah. Okay. The other difference is this one here, the 5610, is solar powered, it's atomic, and what else? It's got world time, so there are some extra features here. The module in the 5600 is, as I said, the most basic, so it's only got, let's see what it's got, one alarm, as opposed to this one has got, I think, 5 alarms, and one is a snooze alarm. But the 5600 has only one alarm, and of course a timer, stopwatch. Yeah. And the 5600 doesn't have an automatic backlight, so you have to push the button in order to turn on backlight. And with this button, actually, you can turn on the flashing signal. So when it's turned on, when you have an alarm or timer is up, then it not only beeps, but the screen or the display also flashes. So that's what it means. But if we just go through the screens, because the big difference is here. It's got the 5610 has got world time. So here you can set almost any major cities around the world you want, and you see the time there. And the 5600 doesn't have a world time. So let's continue. This is the alarm. So this one has, the 5610 has more alarms and also a snooze alarm. The 5600 only has a single alarm. Let's go to the timer screen. Yeah, it's the timer here, it's a stopwatch here, but you already see the difference. But actually, let's go to the stopwatch. Yeah, you see, on the 5600, on the cheaper model, when you are in the stopwatch or timer display, you still see the current time up here. But on the solar G-Shock, which is the more expensive one, you don't. So if you go to timer. Oh, come on, these buttons are tiny. You see? On the cheaper model, you see the current time. On the more expensive model, you don't see the current time. And this is a major, it's a very, very big difference. So this is a major advantage with the cheaper watch. And this is just so funny. Because having the ability to see the current time when you are running a timer or stopwatch might be a game changer for you. So I like this feature in the 5600 much better. Yeah, but that's what it is. And I wish Casio did include the same feature in the module, in this one, in the solar one. Because as I said, seeing the current time when you are running a timer or a stopwatch is just so nice. It's a very, very useful feature. Of course, for that you trade, for that feature, you trade something, because you know, you see in the stopwatch function, the resolution is better, because here you also have the milliseconds. So on the solar one you have the hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, or is it milliseconds? No, it's not milliseconds. Or is it? No, because milliseconds go from 0 to 1000. What is that? It's not milliseconds. Ah, come on. Okay, you know what I mean. But on the cheaper model, although you see the current time up there, you have only hours, minutes and seconds. Yeah, but I would, you know, who needs that kind of small resolution? I don't. I would rather see the current time when I'm running a timer or stopwatch, and hours, minutes and seconds are good enough for me. And also, with the cheaper model, if you, for example, set something, let's see, say you set the alarm. You have to push the adjust button. Yeah, okay, you set the alarm. Yeah, right. You're done. You push this button again, you're back to the home screen. But with this one, if you, for example, want to set the alarm, okay, you're done. You push it, you have to go through all the other screens in order to get back to the home screen. So this is also one difference. So the module of the cheaper one has some advantages over the module in the more expensive one. Okay, one other thing, the buttons. The buttons are of the same size, but on the more expensive one, you see all the buttons are a little bit more out, so it's easier to push them. But on the cheaper one, on the 5600, the adjust button is so much recessed. You see, it's very, very hard to press. So when it's actually on your wrist, it is very, very hard to operate. And this is a major disadvantage, because if you use the watch, it's on your wrist. You have to be able to push the buttons on your wrist. And it's like very, very uncomfortable. When this is actually on your wrist and you want to push the adjust button, it's almost impossible. It's possible, but very, very uncomfortable. On this one, it's easier to push the buttons. Yeah. What else is there? So both watches are very nice. I like them. Yeah, you see the auto backlight here. It's a very, very nice feature. But there is a difference between the modules. This module has some advantages over this one in some respects, and of course the more expensive one is tough solar, is atomic, it has auto backlight, it's got a adjust button which is easier to push, so this one has these advantages. But the cheaper one, the 5600, has other advantages. It's like you always see the current time when you are on the timer screen or the stopwatch screen, and when you are done with some settings, it goes back to the home screen immediately. And this G-Shock here is very, very simple. It's a very, very simple watch. That's what I like about it. It's extremely hard to operate the adjust button when it's on your wrist, but this is a very, very simple, tough, simple watch. This one is also tough, but it's not that simple. It's got some very nice extra features. So yeah, I cannot say that one is better than the other, because the solar one is missing features, useful features that the cheaper one has, and also the cheaper one is missing useful features that the more expensive one has. So it's like, if you want to have it all, you have to own both watches. Of course, there is also a Bluetooth version, and this movement or the module in the Bluetooth G-Shocks or square G-Shocks is even better than the module in this one. But I don't own any of those square G-Shocks, but I know from videos that the module in the Bluetooth square G-Shocks also shows you the time up here, the current time up here when you are on the stopwatch or timer screen. Yeah, actually one other thing just came in my mind, that the backlight duration here is 1.5 seconds, and you cannot change it, and it's very short. Here the backlight is on for 2 seconds. You cannot change it, okay, but it's longer. And it doesn't make sense. This is a solar watch. You can afford to have a longer duration for the backlight on a solar watch, right? Why do you, Casio, why do you make it shorter? Why is it that it's only 1.5 seconds here on the solar and 2 seconds here on the non-solar? It doesn't make sense. It's illogical. So there are some things that doesn't make sense with Casio. But you know, if you want to have it all, you really have to buy the Bluetooth version of the Square G-Shock, which costs about 150 or 180 euros for the resin version. And of course there are the metal Square G-Shocks, which are awesome, by the way, but those are very, very pricey. But if you just want to have some relatively cheap and nice G-Shocks, these two are very, very good. Yeah, okay, that's all. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.